Did you see that there was that was in the news today where they're basically all the judges just were ruled that it was like it's illegal and they're not going to be able to go forward with it.
Yeah, and they're not going to be able to enforce stuff and things like that, which is totally normal, I suppose. I mean, anytime you have two different political parties, one person's trying to push something and the other one's trying to do whatever they can to stop it, which is what makes the country fair and kind of even, is the ability to do that. So,
Yeah, but I
so
mean, like, don't you think that like the ruling, whoever's in charge of the government has like the upper hand on setting the economic framework at
well,
which the country is going to repay their debts or like get out of a fiscal
yeah, I
situation?
believe that also, that yes, we elected
Yeah.
someone to, do what they think is best for the country. They impose tariffs, but it's also a responsible practice to have somebody challenging you on everything you do.
But with court cases, there's like precedents that get set. So in this case, I would say there was precedence in the sense that our country has had tariffs in the past. So why would it be illegal to make tariffs now?
100%, 100%. As long as we're following that same process that set those
Right.
precedents, then there it takes a lot more burden of proof to disprove them as legal if the precedent already existed and it's been working for years and years. I'm curious if we're following the same process that we did before, in setting
I
tariffs.
just always knew too that like this thing was kind of fucked to begin with because of how many times they did 90 days, 90 days, 90 days delay. Like they kept on delaying it since like they came out with it in April or May. And so there was something shady going on from my understanding because like how could something get delayed that many times and we're here in September and then we find out it's illegal? Like they obviously knew something was up and they were using it as leverage to have negotiations with these other countries and make things seem bigger or badder uh, as a negotiation tactic.
I think 100% all of it's a negotiation tactic. Donald Trump loves business deals, so that's how he flexes his muscle. It
He's not proven that he's been good at it though recently because of how many times he's fucking getting
He
stopped.
hasn't proven he's been good at it his entire life, honestly, if you kind of look at numbers and things. But he's a personality, so he rose above the need to be good at something because he's good on TV, and that's before he was president. That's what he had. That was his empire, was being a personality. But
His bank account shows that he's pretty good at it.
he's good at it. There's different measures of how good someone is at something. And
In today's day and age, it's a bank account.
and I never fault Trump for being who he is. I don't fault anybody for being who they are. It's the people that elect these folks into office, and to expect him to be a president when he's never been a politician, you're going to get a certain type of personality in there, and that's what supposedly more than half the people in the country wanted. So we got to listen to that. Um, and then yeah, he loves business deals. So the tariffs are a great way to bring countries to the table. They have to talk about this, or this is going to really hurt their smaller economies. Um, so I think delaying it was probably just time to negotiate with more and more people, and to try and get stuff out of them that we're not hearing about. I think is part of it, is like, yeah, we're talking about tariffs and we're distracted with tariffs, but these conversations with these other countries, they don't have to be about tariffs. They can be like, all right, we'll give you good tariff deals if you let us put a base in your country and we can fly secret B2 missions out of it. Or, we need, all this money that you've been laundering for the last 100 years. We're going to need you to, like, funnel it through us a little bit more. I don't know exactly what they're talking about. Obviously it's a secret, but it's everything's a negotiation tactic in politics.
But with this recent headline though of it being illegal, doesn't that give like the upper hand to these other countries that we were negotiating with?
Um, I guess so. We always have the upper hand. It's just getting them to the table to scare them into getting stuff done is probably the
We were
ploy.
scaring them with 100, and we were like at like 200% tariffs, and then like it ended with like 15 or 10
Yeah.
negligible
So what did they
tariffs
give us?
percentage
What did they give
wise.
us instead?
I don't know. I didn't see much of it, so I think that it's pretty interesting too because they were touting our government was touting billions of dollars in tariff revenue coming in, and now with this ruling they say that we have to give all that money back.
Yeah, yeah, the legal system, man. Legal system. I mean, that's what
That
Trump's opponents have been doing to him for years and years now, even since before he was president. You know, lawsuits and things like that of our power
anyways,
play.
it seems that that with this poll, 62% of Americans opposed Trump's tariffs to begin with. Well, it started in June with 59% opposing it, then July 60% opposing it. Now 62. It wasn't heavily favored by the populace, and he's supposedly, this populist president. So if people didn't want it, it doesn't seem like it was favorable for him to go through with it, anyways.
No, he. I think he has a mindset that he just wants to win no matter what. So what people think isn't really high on his list of just qualifications to make a decision. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know a list of things that haven't been popular but have somehow worked out. But that's a possibility that it could work out, even though it's not popular. Is he supposed to do what the people want him to do? Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's his main job. So I think he definitely should listen to the populace. Um, if I had
It was going to make. Oh, sorry.
uh,
Go ahead.
real quick, I'll wrap it up. If
No, go
I
ahead.
had a really what I thought was a good idea, and I trusted in myself 10 million%, like I'm sure Trump does, would I listen to the populace? Is the question. Um, I'm not that self assured, and I do value other people's input, so it's hard for me to put myself in his shoes. But I know that he probably thinks he's the smartest guy in the room all the time, and that served him well. So he has proof that it works. And the populace maybe doesn't understand what he's trying to do is what's going through his head. So he's going to do whatever he wants because he knows what's best for the greater good. And that's a scary person to have in power for sure.
It was going to make prices of goods go up in cost for regular people, though. Like tariffs weren't going to be put onto these other countries without the consumer paying the price here at
Oh, of
home.
course.
So it also just it's not something that seems like it was going to be a win-win.
No, but it does funnel money directly into the government from these other countries. So yes, we end
Yeah,
up
but
feeling
our
it.
yeah.
It's a trickle down economics theory of the government getting more money to improve the economy and us having to foot most of the bill. But don't worry, the government's going to do the right thing with this money and make our lives better for us. And yeah, there's it's very problematic.